Just I had a good question from a customer because we have a lot of indicators in our group, and I get it; it can be overwhelming. But luckily, you can break it down to the core strategy pretty simply, and that is focus on the daily GAN as your primary trigger. So you can go back even to the pre-market of today, and you might not get a lot of trades at the daily, but you see the gray line is the daily. Right from the get-go, you know, like 1 hour in, you're getting some bounces off the daily, which could present some long opportunities. It dipped below it. As you can see, when it failed, look what you got overnight: a daily GAN to a 4 hour GAN, then another trade option to go from the 4 hour to the 4 hour. I don't trade right now at this time frame, but again, so the daily is your primary thing, right? But look at overnight. Now, not everything's gonna be perfect, but look, it touches up here. So let's just say you went short here, okay? Okay, you have to wait a bit. You might even got stopped out, but let's say you re-enter. Okay, and you're just watching this bounce around. So from 23 to 146, now finally it comes down. You see it failing. So even if you missed this opportunity, you could have entered here because it's failing and you're getting confirmation. Okay, so if you miss this, it's failing, so you can enter in this region. So then again, look at this. You just got a 4 hour GAN to GAN, and then finally, later on, you don't know the future or whatever, right? It comes down here, everything flips. So maybe you don't know exactly where to enter, so your entry could be like right here, right? Bounces up, almost gets to the daily, it's coming back above the 4 hour. Look at that. You're almost going to get a full GAN to GAN again. Now, did it go all the way? It doesn't always go GAN to GAN, but it got all the way up here. And so let's say you're in this trade and it flipped color, and then there's a buy, there's a sell. Okay, well then maybe you just get out there. Now it's time to wait a little bit. You're kind of in no man's land. This is a no man's land, no man's land. It's getting up here. So this is where nothing's perfect. This is where you just have to use your critical mind or risk management. So of course it's cherry picking, but if you went short here with your risk right here ish, right? If you're wrong, okay, you're wrong. If it goes above this 4 hour, fine. In this case, it works out in your favor, and it goes right back down to the 4 hour. It's been down here before. So again, do you try to pick this bottom? No. You see it bounce off the 4 hour, and then you get some buying pressure. So then you're buying in this region. Now again, are you going to get a full daily or full 4 hour GAN? You don't know that. But so what you can do at the 50% mark, or when it flips to that, either get all out or take some off, right? And in this case, it came back a little bit, and again, it didn't come back to here. So this would be, again, nothing's perfect, but you do get some buying pressure. So as traders, we take our best educated risk as we can, I guess, or not really guess, but our strategy. That'd be kind of like, okay, it's into the 4 hour, he's in buying. You could scalp. Now look, it doesn't even get back to the 4 hour again, right? So that's a case where maybe you just break even on that trade, or you scalp a little bit when you see that selling pressure, right? So when you get that and you see the selling pressure, you just get out, cut it, right? Don't just be robotic about it. Don't worry about it. That maybe you didn't get all. We can't control everything, right? It's impossible. So then, as it's coming down, and this is where the compass helps, but a lot of people like, oh, it adds too many lines. Well, look at the compass did. What I did with it. When it goes below the compass, it's another tool for me to sell. I'd scalp from the VWAP down to here. When it came above here, I would scalp a little bit and maybe take a break even or a little bit of loss. As it came down, you could scalp below a little bit, maybe take a loss there. Then you could go long and take a little bit of profit there. For me, when it came down and it struggled to get above the VWAP, I went short and I was done for the day. Now you can see right at market open, it tried to tap the VWAP and I shorted. Actually, no, I did. I shorted that again right at the open, shorted that down, caught this nice wave down, and so what did it do? It blasted through a daily, This is gray. Then I came down to the 4 hour, and look what it did at the 4 hour. A beautiful bounce with confirmation. So again, if you miss this, the daily is even better because the daily has more respect to it. It's just, both are really good. So you go long here, scalp here, right? And then you can see how later on it's coming down, bouncing at the 4 hour. You have the 30-minute range here, and we have VWAP. So it's, there is some consolidation here, but you can see how it bounces up the 4 hour almost twice. You get some buying pressure. You can go long, scalping up to the. So now if you didn't have the compass on, look where the compass stopped. Look where price stopped. This is an AI number. The compass generated before you did anything, right? Before you did anything. I don't need the signals on here. Sorry. So when you have the compass on, look where price happened to stop. It doesn't always. This number is just a level of significance that to watch out for. So again, you're scalping up to here. Like you get a nice double bounce off this AI GAN number, as I call it, and then you have an opportunity to scalp. Now again, you can turn off the compass if you want, and it cleans things up. But again, I like the extra numbers. But anyway, you can short the 4 hour again. This is a trade I took. Or you short right about the 4 hour down, and you're going GAN to GAN. Same thing as you could buy here, but the better risk is waiting, or the better opportunity is to wait for a little bit closer to the daily GAN. And then you're going to get, so GAN to GAN, GAN to GAN. Then this is a little bit trickier because it bounces off quick, but you could enter, down, say down here, and catch another GAN to GAN. Now look at this. It bounces off the daily. These are my favorite trades. Bounces off the daily. You can scalp a little bit. You don't need to get, always have to get all the way to GAN. Scalp. It's at the daily. Scalp a little bit. It's at the daily. Scalp. Okay, well, you lose that one. Or break even. Again, it comes down here, it bounces. Scalp a little bit, right? So again, maybe these are losses. Maybe you didn't get all of that. But look at this. Bounces. Scalp. You're taking trades at the best area, right? At this daily GAN, right? You're not always going to get GAN to GAN, but at least you get a good entry, right? You have good confirmation. Even right there is a good day. You catch a trade here. When that flips, you get out. So anyway, this is a way to keep it real simple. You just need good areas, confirmation, and then recognizing the kind of trader you are. Do you want to go GAN to GAN, or do you want to be robotic and get out when the selling and when it flips? So that way you book profit. So there's a lot of ways to do it. Some days you are going to get GAN to GAN. Some days you're just going to get half a GAN. So yeah, that's the whole idea, is just keeping it as simple as possible and making Mula. Pretty simple, right?